I would recommend a 2 to 5-year-old playground.
We would probably ask for both,
Yeah.
both age groups.
I mean, the whole point is that we would have input
Mhm.
and then it would come back, right? And we could talk further about it, but
We would direct the design intent and make sure that, you know, it meets our recommended standards. And then also they can install it much cheaper than we can install it too. So getting cash from them. It's a bigger cash ask need from our pockets because we pay prevailing wage. They don't have to. Right.
Was this neighborhood identified in our master plan
Yes.
as something needing attention?
It was an area that doesn't have a park.
But it didn't make our
Yeah,
list
it was,
of priorities.
it's on there. That's why I included that in the discussion of my memo.
Yeah, Hitchcock did identify this area as needing a playground, needing a park, a neighborhood park.
Okay. So with this being a discussion item, should we just do like show of hands?
I do need to give them
Right,
an answer tomorrow.
right. So why don't, we're not voting on this, correct?
It's direction for me to go back to the developer and say, this is what we want to do.
All right, show of hands if you are okay with a developer funded neighborhood playground. Am I terming that correctly? Being put in and developed at the site. Show of hands if you're okay with that. Yes. Show of hands if you are not okay with that. Okay,
So it's full blown playground park.
yes.
I was just gonna say, plus
And
the,
that, I agree.
yeah,
I agree, sorry,
So-
that I omitted that.
Park
I don't-
and some cash. Yes.
yes.
For long-term management,
How much do you want me to ask for?
100 and,
what do you think?
what do you think, Scott?
200,000.
150 will go to 100. 200 will go to 150.
Well, two they offered with this land, so I don't think that.
No.
That was still negotiable. That wasn't a final offer.
400 total.
They've been turned down too.
That's right, they're on strike too.
They're on strike 2.5. They didn't get past the planning and zoning commission. So anything they can offer the community, it is in their benefit.
It'll show their,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, so 200.
Yeah.
Well,
So we're
Hold on.
enabling a development.
hold on,
The
Jason,
city doesn't.
Jason,
So we're providing a playground in an area that needs a playground.
and we're getting somebody else to pay for it, I love it. Jason, you were saying something else though.
that's gonna be hard to get.
Yeah, it's negotiable.
Yeah.
They don't let the cents start here.
I know it's really not.
200. I think you guys.
Scott, what do you think?
I think that's a negotiable number on your side. So.
250?
No. I think there's a-
Greedy,
You're going.
being greedy.
So they're up landing 200, right? Okay, now, okay, we'll take a landing 200 and throw it apart, and we wanna control what's gonna be built. They can get it. Okay.
Your initial number when this was brought up was 100
I think, I would ask,
plus the playground.
I'd say 150.
150.
I bet 150.
Right.
Well, we also don't we want a walking path around it and a shelter and,
Well, that's gonna be part of it.
yeah, so I mean, it's just not playground.
Yeah,
An improved park is what we're gonna say.
you can just say where you want, broad, Amy, and, you do it over the weekend.
70 and
I think we're gonna ask for a developed park and $150,000.
Yeah.
If they counter with a different amount, where do you want me to start?
I think 100, I think 100,
And if it goes lower than that, then they're out of luck.
Yep. yes.
They didn't say you go, you went for one from the. So,
We also want a nice park too.
So I can negotiate.
So is
down
that
to it.
part of the negotiation? Like we have standards.
Yes, Dan, we are, yeah.
And I've already had that discussion with him, that we
Okay.
could be the ones that decide what's being built.
Okay, because that's very different. Like Kathy's like shelters and blah, blah, blah. And then
We
we're
don't want
like,
them in our special.
Right.
no, rainbow, remember that?
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, I will reach out to you. Thank you.
Okay, reports to the board. Patients, anybody, who wants to start?
Scott, do you have anything, Scott? The only thing I had to add was, we're making, progress on the maintenance facility property. We needed to engage, consultant to do a phase 2 environmental with the recommendation of the phase 1, study. So, Eric signed off on that today and we're getting that done and it should be 3 to 4 weeks. So, we did have to go back to the seller and ask for an extension to close because we need to get this work done before we leave the buy. They gave us permission to come in and do the work that needs to be done. And have agreed to extend the due diligence period until we're done with it. So did I sum that up well?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I had to add. Thank you. Gina, you got anything to add?
Just wanted to mention that we received bond proceeds today. So when the time comes for closing, we will have the money. And then any questions from the report?
Sure.
Just so you're aware, Jason, by the way, the Zoom went out for the internet went down apparently. So when you heard the recording, the only person that's in there is Michelle from the Northwest Herald. But
Okay.
if all of a sudden someone asks, why did your Zoom go down? You go, internet went down, but now it's back up. So that's why you heard recording in progress 3/4 of the way through the meeting. Just in terms of what exciting things we got coming up, we have our truck or treat event coming up a week from Saturday. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. It is one of the coolest things that we do. It's Saturday morning at Main Beach. We tell people to bring enough candy for 2,000 kids. And last year, again, most of the places got rid of all their candy and needed to borrow some from us. So it's a really awesome event. I'd highly recommend it. And we will be, again, hosting 4 voting locations for the November election. We are working with the county on all of that. We will have them at Main, West, Rotary, and the Nature Center. So all of that seems to be going well so far, but we've basically given the county carte blanche with our buildings to ensure that there are no shenanigans, no anything with this type of an election. For a presidential election, we want to make sure they've got all the time for setup and whatever they need. So that should be, that's been going really well. That's all.
Okay, our biggest things are upcoming publications. We'll have our monthly e-newsletter going out, all of our area facility program monthly newsletters, including like Barlena House Extended Time, all those specialty newsletters. With the popular annual financial report is an 8-page doc, and once we receive finalized audit numbers and everything, we're hoping that'll go first week of November. It's in progress, just have to fill in some pieces. And that'll be a print only publication. We will have a digital PDF link, but it'll go postal route saturation. We'll have extra copies in the community as well. And then December 10th, our winter spring activity guide will go to the post office, postal route saturation, and copies available at facilities, the library, the city, Village of Lakewood.
Well, I can fix up that. Hologus, they started pouring the concrete curbs for the parking lot and drive in, so that's really cool. It actually feels like it's looking like a park now. We have been doing proof rolling on the, courts and stuff, and they're just gonna start pouring. They're digging the holes for the smaller shelter shade buildings, the pickleball shade building and the splash pad building, little shelter, and not building, shelter. They've already poured, as you can see from my photo, the first pour for the Romtech bathroom building, and they did their second pour today on the foundation, so that's really exciting news. They've got the storm drainage pipes between all the detention basins. So when you drive by, you'll see a lot of little dips. We are holding a lot of water at the site, which is great. The soil is sandy, gravelly, amazing stuff for all the work that they're doing. Maintenance garage, it's about 99% done. Where the contractor's gonna do his own punch walk, and then we're gonna do a punch walk and get that buttoned up in the next week or two.
The road.
The roof, and the maintenance garage roof, yeah, so that's great. That'll be a project checked off our list. And one thing, stepping back to Hologus, big deliveries are coming at the end of the month. The actual shade Romtech building is coming on multiple semis. That'll be on October 29th. The 2 shade shelters are coming probably in a couple next couple weeks. I'm waiting for a date on that. The pickle or the splash pad components also coming at the end of October. So at the end of October, we are planning for dry, warm weather for a month. I really need a month and a half of nice, beautiful weather so we can button this up. We've got a lot of work to do before the April 30th deadline for the grant. That is our hard deadline unless we ask for an extension, and I would like to not ask for an extension. We do know that we have to do something different.
And the playground equipment was brought up there today.
Yeah, they'll start
Sure,
doing
so-
foundation tomorrow on playground equipment. So that's really good. They're surveying it. So probably Monday, they'll really start with the playground stuff. They think they'll do it tomorrow, but they have to survey it. The Rotary Shelter, you've probably driven by, they're working on the columns. The stone looks amazing on it. They're gonna do their second floor tomorrow, by the grills. And then they'll work their way out of the site. The gravel, is prepped for the concrete block, so they have to frame out the block. So that's gonna hopefully button up in the next couple of weeks. Team Real has been juggling a lot of projects, so we're, one of many that they're juggling, and so it's not gone as fast as I would have liked. And I don't think I have anything else at this point. Thank you.
Okay, anything else from the board? No? All right,
Actually, I got a couple of questions. For, the aquatic fund, I see we put for 111,000 in the hole. What's happened there?
So the aquatic fund loses $100,000 plus every single year. It has since the beach opened
Okay.
a long time ago. Now, one of the things we've really tried to do over the last few years is not necessarily shoot for making money necessarily. I mean, ideally, that's what we'd want to do, but really just trying to limit that loss. So a couple things with that. One, we bought the new docking system that we use for to replace the old buoy system that we had. That was taken out of that specific fund. So that was a $35,000 cost. And one of the things that's really impacted that fund more than anything else is the cost of minimum wage rising has just, we've had to keep adding and adding for lifeguards. One of the things we're going to talk about at our annual recommendations in November is how we think we can hopefully raise some costs to try to offset some of that. But when Three Oaks is starting lifeguards at $17 an hour, and we thought we were ahead of the game by starting them at 15, that's an area where it really just gets compounded with that expense.
Yeah, I see the revenues pretty.
And we had, and I don't think September, I don't remember if September's in there or not, but just to give you an idea of what the weather can do, we just looked at the numbers today. This year in Labor Day weekend, we did $8,000 in business. We had an okay weekend. Last year with a really hot weekend, we did just under 20. So having a hot weekend, it's crazy how much that can just swing the revenue one way or another.
And there's some years,
Yeah,
it's 30 or 40,000.
Yeah, I
Some
see
years
that.
we lose over 100. It just depends on a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
Expenses.
Yeah, those one-time expenses, those are,
costs for those lifeguard people.
yep.
anything else? Okay, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
I will second.
All in favor? Aye, any opposed? Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. And it's like, you'll see it.